Listen, that song mashing up everywhere. It is 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. You're listening to Good Morning Grenada. You're also watching Good Morning Grenada. Msy.Chrissy and Gary Mr. Smooth, your host. But listen, we have a very, 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 very special guest in the building. He is known by so many names, but he's the one that I had to tell you all the names. His government name, Elimus Gilbert. His sobriquet, Inspector. Listen, 12 titles, 11 in Grenada, 1 in New York. No stranger to Calypso and Soca in Grenada. The Inspector, good morning to you.
Good morning, Missy. Good morning to all the beautiful people of Grenada, Carrico, Pitty, Macnic around the world who viewing right now. My pleasure to be here. Yes.
Welcome to GBN. It's such a pleasure having you.
Yes.
The veteran.
Yeah.
You know?
Elimus Inspector, Hitman, Hurricane, Roger, veteran, side chick Gilbert.
Side chick Gilbert. Listen, that song, this is your new song, one of your latest songs for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
How you end up with this whole side chick drama?
Well, I'm a man that grew up on the street and I know what's taking place. You know, I from Sotters, connect to the people on the ground. Plus, I look at a lot of talk shows. I look at a lot of Jerry Springer and Maury and all them things. So I know what's taking place. I know what's happening. And, I don't see the behavior. So then when they come on this show, the side chick more upset than the wife.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
She more upset than the wife, She don't want to hear she wrong.
But what is it about soca music? Every year there's always a song about horning.
Well, we think that's relevant. Because if a young artist approach me and say, Specky, I want us to do something, I will say try to listen to know what slang is on the street. Try to listen to know what's taking place. Because people like things that are relevant, things that are happening at the moment, so you could touch it and then people could run with that. Yes, that's reality. That's true. You understand? So horning is something that takes place a lot. I mean, Grenada, we could sleep with our windows open. We could stop and help somebody on the street fix a flat tire. We don't have to know them. We show people love. We don't have crimes like other countries every day. You wake up is killing. I ain't saying we don't have, but once in a while. But our crime is horning.
Horning is the crime. Wow.
And that's a topic right there.
It is a topic.
Horning is the crime.
We might have to start putting that on the law books.
Yes. So that is why artists sing about it. And something about horn tune, once the music good, it went right around the Caribbean. After all that thing I have done for you, why you horning me, Trinidad? I don't want to know if I get in honor. Let me give you a next example. When I was a little boy, I didn't have much sense. I didn't have much sense, much knowledge towards them things. There was a big song in Grenada and in my hometown that my parents and all the neighbors were singing. A song from Penguin, Trinidad and Tobago. He's the one that sang "Woman No Like Soft Man."
Mm-hmm.
So when later on you could Google it. The name of this song is The Sleepers. What the sleepers doing under me bed? And don't talk no dotishness in me head. Tonight we go see who more dread. Tonight somebody go dead. What the sleepers doing under me bed? The husband came from New York City and he gave his wife an unexpected visit. And he saw sleepers under the bed. You know what is a sleepers, right? He saw the sleepers under the bed and he get mad, walking through Potterspin singing. And that song was so creative, Penguin never come out and say, why you horning me? But what that sleepers doing under the bed? This is not my sleepers. This is a size 12, I wear size 10. What a sleep, and he get mad walking through Potterspin singing that.
But that's also clever writing.
Clever writing. Yes.
So let's talk about that in terms of I hear so many people talking about, our artists need a little bit more development when it comes to creating songs. What would you say to that?
They're right. Because there is some artists who will come out rah and sing. Rah. And some artists again will put pen and paper together and put it real creative. You understand? Mm-hmm. So they're right. Gabby, the mighty Gabby from Barbados. I think I heard that he will be here for the March Gras, and I will be a guest on the March Gras too. Good morning to Spice Mass Corporation. And Gabby had a song one year. Me and Jill was playing cricket on a past year one day. And his the other way around you're talking about. She said, hit it. Oh, you're missing. So hit it with your hit it.
I never realized that that's what that song was about.
This is what
but I've heard that chorus in my head since I was a child.
This is what I tell you. So this is what you make it crafty. You understand? So people like them things, double meaning, nothing that the children, you understand? You have to make them, have them thinking what you're talking about.
Would you say that the quality of songs in the current Soca Morna competition, I realize you're not in competition, would you say that the quality of songs compared to yesteryears have dropped?
I wouldn't say the quality, because there is good quality with the music, but the standard itself, where that means material is that mean the songs. Right now, election songs are more popular than some of the Soca Morna songs, to be honest with you. You understand? So this is what we're talking about, the songs itself. You know, there is a few that people know. And then a lot of the younger artists, not knocking them, it's just constructive criticism, because people still criticize me on certain things. Don't write with melody. A lot of the younger artists just run with the hype.
Right.
They just run with the hype. They come with that beat and this hype, and they just run with that.
It sounds like a heavy hip-hop influence that creates that as well.
Yes. Melody, very important, because a lot of the younger artists are also writing with melody. When you listen to Boise, Groovy, you listen to Dash, you listen to a Voice from Trinidad, just to name a few. When Voice sing, no, call me, I don't want it, and then you listen melody and Voice in the early 20s.
Yeah.
So melody, very important. Even Short Pre. When Short Pre was dominating the scene, he write with a lot of melody, because he say he listened to a lot of the older artists, because that's the era I come from. Right? Melody, very important. Give people things to sing and raise their skin, and you understand. But a lot of the young artists just go with the hype. And some of them are parents are very terrible too. They go with the pants and they showing all the boxer shot and are drinking the hand whatsoever, carry more beer stock, sorry for the promotion, but whatsoever they drinking, they have it in the hand. And, when people come to a fete, even though they ain't like this song, they're supposed to love what you have on. I learned that.
Right.
If it's the shoes or something or the outfit, let it love what you have on. You could be simple but look classy. And that's what lacking in a lot of the younger artists, and I can't tell them that, because they believe what they believe and them things. But melody, very, very, very important. So when people come complaining too, they talk about that. You know, they don't know the song, the melody. I think is like they don't have material to run with to sing.
Right. And you mentioned the professionalism, which is something as well. And now with the Soca Morna competition, there's a lot of talk right now about the prize monies.
Yeah.
What does Elimus Gilbert, the veteran, the hitman inspector, have to say about the prize monies for Soca?
All right. Well, there is artists who are complaining and say they want more money. Some mention 100,000. And that is their rights. And they have a point, you know. But at the moment, for artists to get more money, and I have no problem with that, artists fighting for more money. But for artists to get more money, you must have an association and somebody fighting for you. Not two on this side saying, well, we want that, and next two on the other side saying we want that amount, and then 10 taking part in the competition. That don't make any sense. Like a mix-up Callaloo, I don't make no sense at all.
Right.
You have artists in Grenada, Soca artists, not together. You need an association, and the president represent you, and they fight for you. See how the union operate? The Calypsonian have an association. Soca artists don't. So that there is a problem. But with the artists fighting for more money, nothing wrong with that. That's their rights. But the way it's happening now, it don't make any sense. Yeah, it don't make any sense. You have to have an association, and then you get what you want.
Were there efforts before to start an association?
Many times, boys, they call me and tell me he had shot free and then putting something together. I didn't nothing about it again. When we was in New York, we had a whole meeting saying that let us have an association so we could come in Grenada and fight for certain things. When artists reach in Grenada and this one song playing more than the other, this one realize they go win the Soca Morna for the road, man. Everybody forget what they discuss around the table.
Right.
You understand?
So there's need for organization.
Yes, we're not like, they never teach us coming together in school. That's a problem we have. Coming together is a problem we have, like they didn't teach us that in school at all. Right. So that's a problem, right? So fighting for more money is not a problem. You could get it, but you have to present yourself properly.
Right.
Not some saying yes and some saying no and some saying, well, I go down and take part because when they're making the money and when them used to win, all that happening. Yes, all that happens. So association. Once you have an association, you present yourself and you fight for what you want. And over the years, I've been saying that we need more money because when an artist paying 20,000 for presentation and then you're giving a little 30,000, it don't make no sense.
Right.
When you're flying in the sky and think to drop it down on the stage, all them things is money. So bring a big trailer truck alone in the park. Sorry, is money. To drop you down. Fireworks, dancers, everything.
Costumes.
Yes, it's money.
Right.
You know, it gone up to 50,000 this year, not bad at all. And somebody from SMC make a point to me, and they're right. They say, Specky, if we give the first prize 100,000, second prize have to be about 80,000. Third prize have to be about 60 or 70.
Right. So the total amount ends up being quite more than they can afford at this point in time.
Yes.
I see.
You say we don't have it. Where we getting that money?
Right.
You know, and I understand what they say. So this is things we have to discuss, sit down on a table and discuss. You know, not just before Carnival. When Carnival done, let's discuss that. And I'm making my point again last time. Soca artists, we need an association to fight for what you want.
You're hearing it there from the veteran Elimus Gilbert, the Inspector. He's with us right here on Good Morning Grenada. Now, there's also been another move that the Spice Mass Corporation recently did, which is declaring the 9th of July Sparrow Day. What do you say to that? Because that's been quite an issue for a lot of our listeners and viewers.
I read all the comments. And what some people is saying is that Sparrow don't do nothing for Grenada. And why Sparrow Day? I understand what they say. But if they only declare a day for a Jamo, he had people in Grenada would have said, why a Jamo? That's supposed to be Wizard. Wizard better than a Jamo. If they declare Wizard Day, you have people go be cussing, why Wizard? A Jamo win more crown than him. Because that's how we operate in Grenada. The Mighty Sparrow, when you talk about Calypso, you talk about Sparrow. It's true he never built a museum in Grenada. He never built a school in Grenada. He never built a building in Grenada. But he migrated to Trinidad, where Trinidad is the Mecca, the land of Calypso, Pan, Soca. You talk about Trinidad. And because of Sparrow, the world get to know more about Calypso. And this is a man that never denied that he's from Grenada. I want you to get my point. I understand he never put on a building here, but this is a man that never denied. Even when me and him talk, Specky, how he's Grenada, or his Grand Roy. I remember once he had an incident, I don't even think you're the born yet, or maybe your parents could tell you, he had an incident in the savannah where he dropped his clothes, and he tell them, my Grenadian, you understand, I can say it on national television, but he never denied that he's not from Grenada. He always say he's a Grenadian. Even somebody trained used to tell him, we're going to send you back Grenada in a job. A Calypsonian said to me that Sparrow was so good that the only thing them training could have told him, you're from Grenada, you're not from Trinidad. So he never denied that. But when you talk about Sparrow, you talk about Calypso. And all them great Calypsonian in the Caribbean, if you interview them, you ask them who's the idol, they will tell you Mighty Sparrow. Yeah. King Shot from Antigua, he won from 17 times. The idol is the Mighty Sparrow. All my great performance in Queen's Park over the years where I stomp the man and all the 1 foot hopping on 1 foot and a cappella and all the whining and everything, I learned that from the Mighty Sparrow. When you talk about Sparrow, you talk about Calypso. And I have no problem declaring a day for the Mighty Sparrow because he is a Grenadian. But I also understand their point, he never built no building. But as I said before, knowing my people, if they only declare a day for Inspector, there are people that criticize and say that should be a job.
Got you. Well said. Now, Specky, I mean, you've been putting down songs for decades. You have been in this business before I was born, legit. How have you been able to maintain that relevance over the decades?
First of all, the love for it. Anything you're doing in life, you have to love it. And I will just give you a quick story. When I was a little boy, every morning I have to sweep the yard before I go to school. And I will listen to the radio. Them time we had one radio station in Grenada. And I will listen to the Lou Smith and the Harold Paisadi and Troy Garvey. And you see Troy Garvey and Harold Paisadi, they will play a soca. I always admire that from them. Early morning you go hear a soca. And I will just run and get the radio volume. and my mother will look at me, and I will just wind down the house, just dance, because I always love it. When I was a little boy again, I will wake up midnight and listen to Trinidad station and listen to the March Gras. Same penguin singing, "We living in jail, and woman don't like soft man." My neighbor had a black and white television. I come from poor family, we had no TV. And I used to sit down on my neighbor's step and look at the black and white TV and look at Gabby from Barbados and Grinder and Red Plastic Bag and all of them and watch and learn something. The neighbor will embarrass me and say, "Little boy, time to go home. Your mother don't want to walk over there to do." Embarrassing me, and I'm not inside the house, and I sit down on the step watching the black and white TV, because we don't have that. To learn something. The first time I met Gypsy and I tell Gypsy the outfit he had and when he sang, everybody getting down on this sofa, you watch me like that. But I always have an interest in Calypso. When I was in Form 1 in SAS, I run away from school and go Trinidad Carnival and sit down in the savannah and watch Black Stallion sang Peter and won the crown in 1987. I was in school. Wow. Run away from school.
Wow.
So a lot of people watching me, this is something I always love. I had a passion for it. Last one, I heard that African Taylor and Black Wizard was coming to perform in SAS. And I stayed back. I used to pay the bus by the month. Well, not me, my mom, paying the bus by the month. Because as I say, poor family, I can pay bus every day. And once that bus leave me and go, once that bus leave Grenville and go, I had to have money in my pocket to pay an next bus, or I have to walk. The money I had for lunch, I took it and I paid to go and see Black Wizard and African Taylor after school. By the time the show done after 6, 7. When I reach in Grenville, no money, my bus gone. I walk from Grenville to Sutters.
Why?
Because of the love of Calypso, to learn something from African Taylor and Black Wizard. So I was telling you that to tell you that it wasn't just wake up in the morning. This is something I always love. I always had an interest in. And I love it for years. There are times I want to give up. There are times the way people criticize me, things people say, I want to give up, but I love it. Many times people, "Oh, you want Inspector to come out there and give me away." Of course I want to do it. But I love it. This is something I love all my life.
So we're not seeing you retire from soca music or Calypso anytime soon.
Blacks came here for years before he died. They ever tell Blacks retire? Iowa George is the soca monarch king of Trinidad, close to 60. Late 50s, 60. You ever hear Grenadians or them Trini telling Iowa time to retire? Them Trini still showing super blue love in Trinidad. The woman who go in the market and sell now 70, 80 with the basket on her head, we ever tell her stop go and make she money? But that's Grenadians. They always want to tell you you're too old and time to go and you have to retire. And the Grenadians always know when to go and when not to go. And Eric Donaldson coming here every year. This is the land of my birth. I don't say no send for him, but they bringing him here every year,
right,
to sing once. This is in Jamaica. You don't even say this is Grenada. This is Jamaica, my Jamaica. And the place sell out.
Right.
But we always have a problem with our own. We always have a problem with our own.
Now, talk to us about some of the music you're putting out. Of course, we heard Side Chick a while ago. Mm-hmm. What else can we expect from Inspector for this carnival season?
I have one from the cell phone rhythm. I'm going better without you. Mm-hmm. And I had 1 or 2 other songs released. A record, sorry. But I will leave it for next year, please, God. Because the election came in June. And I was thinking election would be after Carnival. So the election also delayed a lot of stuff too.
Right,
and I want people to understand that. Some people complain about they're not hearing enough music and they're not singing. Mm-hmm. The election also delayed a lot of the music. Yeah, remember, we normally start from Carrico Carnival. Eh?
Right.
But sometimes some of the songs start releasing in May.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. Some of these songs was released in May, June, and it come down into August. But because of the election, and this is something we take serious, politics is something we take serious, handbag, a lot of this stuff. So next year, please God, no death, no sickness. And I will be back. I will be back in Soca Monarch next year.
So you're at least releasing 1 extra one before Specky show?
Well, let me see what happens. I'm in the studio right now.
Okay.
I will just pick up the phone and call Mr. Legs and say, hey, I'm ready to go. I have a lot of topics,
Nice.
But, I just watching things still.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see what happens. But I will monitor it. And then next year, please God, I will be back in Soca Monarch.
Lovely,
I will come and tell them, well, the competition may be better on. They want the veteran to go, but the competition need it.
And we have to big up Mr. Legs. Listen,
Yes.
I was actually in studio in New York with Inspector and Mr. Legs as they were recording Side Chick.
Yes.
And disclaimer him, it's actually my voice in the song. But all the people wondering, I did a little background.
Yeah, you that leave me on. Yes.
And some high notes.
And some high notes. And came in very nice, came in very sweet. And also depending on that song for Trinidad like them topic.
Right, that's true.
I get one or two I play with Toy, but once that song play in Trinidad, I promise I will get up and go this time.
Excellent.
Before I lay back a lot, but I will get up and go. Yes, and Mr. Legs doing a wonderful job. He do a lot of performance outside of Grenada. Party Bad is one of the biggest songs with he and Mr. Killer. Outside of Grenada, he's doing a lot of work. He will be there for Specky Show on July 31st.
Excellent.
Yes, he will be there. Yeah.
And listen, we're going to see Inspector tomorrow. You're going to be
upstage. Upstage. That's a Monroe.
Yes, in Kamahan Park.
Kamahan Park. Yes, I will be there, giving you some of the classics and some of the modern songs, and doing my thing as usual. And whole of Grenada know I'm one of the greatest entertainers they ever experienced.
Listen, and a great host.
Yeah, and a great host too. Yes.
Listen, I remember you hosted one of the shows that Andrew did, Hits.
Yes, yes.
A few carnivals ago. Hey, you are hilarious.
Yes. And a lot of people tell me, I'm an entertainer.
There we go.
You go hear the people say, he can't sing, but he could entertain you. Yes, I'm an entertainer, So tomorrow, Monroe, I will be there. And I will be on some of the major fests coming up. We have Wagiti, Musokula Fest coming up soon. We have Pre-Day, all the white fest, the POY, the biggest white. Just too much to mention. I know some of the promoters might be watching and say, boy, you don't call him, I'm going to be on all them fests.
Check him out on social media.
Yes, check me out on social media. I'm going to be on all the fests coming up. And I want to say that I'm one of the veterans that's still in the party, mashing up with the young people. I'm the only one. Only one from, I ain't talking about Calypso. Calypso different, I scholar and them, you understand? But in the fence, Elimus Gilbert is the only artist that in the fence relevant with all, and that's my aim. That's my aim,
Excellent. Thank you so much, Inspector, for joining us today on GBN. Anything you want to leave people with? The
people around the world who viewing right now, who listening, Grenada, we had the best carnival, the last carnival for the summer, and the safest carnival. May I repeat? The biggest Juve, the best carnival, and the safest carnival. Skinny Fabulous from St. Vincent Experience Juve. And every year bringing people into Grenada, even though they had to come with a speedboat to experience the Juve and go back. Marshall Montano, Bungie Garlin, Calypso Rose, everybody experience it, and they will tell you the same thing. We had the best Juve, the biggest Juve, and the safest carnival, incident-free. Come to Grenada for carnival. Who don't book? Book now. What's the date again? I think the second week in August, the 9th and 10th. Or the
8th and 9th of August, yeah.
Come and experience our carnival, the safest and the biggest, and experience our nice little island. This little rock, beautiful. The people are wonderful. You understand? I ain't saying crime-free. We might have something during the year, but not every month or every week like some other country. This is a lovely country. Come and experience it, and experience the last carnival for the summer, Grenada Carnival.
There we go. Spice Mass from the mouth of Inspector himself. Thank you so much. And you can catch him tomorrow at the Grand Dance Food Buzz in Kamahan Park. We're going to be live with Upstage TV show at 5 p.m. It's a free entry for that show to see Inspector live, 5 p.m. at Kamahan Park. We'll be back with more Good Morning Grenada.